Hats are one of my favorite things to knit. They make nice, small, portable projects, and they're a good chance to practice new techniques or stitches. Hi, welcome to CHeri Knits. I love knitting, and I want you to love it too. Today we're going to take a look at how to knit a hat that fits your head. Let's get started. Once you've chosen the pattern you want to make, you need to choose the size. Most patterns will have several options. So the first thing you want to do is measure your head. And I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to check the circumference of my head. So I'm going all the way around, starting at the center of my forehead, around to the largest part, and back around. So that's, for me, about 21.5 inches. The next measurement you want to do is ear to ear. And I like my hats to come all the way down, so I'm going to go from the bottom of my ear up and over and down. But if you want your hats here, if you want your hat here, that's where you start measuring. So you want to start wherever you want at your ear, up and over your head and down. And for me, that number is 16. So I'm going to make a note of that also. That number is important to know how tall to make the hat. So you take the 16 inches, or whatever your number is, cut it in half, so for me that's 8, and subtract 2, and that's the number of inches, 6 inches, that I would want to knit before I start working the crown decreases, so that you can adjust your hat to be as tall as you need it to be, or as short as you need it to be for your actual head. So once you have your head circumference, then you can look at the pattern and pick the size that's best for you. So the pattern we're working with today has 3 sizes, 19.5 inches, 21.25 inches, and 23 inches. Since my head measurement is 21.5, I'm going to choose the 21.25 size for myself because I don't like my hair to get messed up when I put on a hat, and so I want pretty much I just want it to be about what my head is, so that it goes on, my hair will keep it on, and it won't mess up my hair. But if I didn't have very much hair, or
you're making it for Brad,
or I'm making it for Brad, then I would actually want negative ease. So Brad's head is about 24 inches. I would take an inch off and make the hat that's 23 inches so that it stays on his head. And if the opposite, if you have a bunch of curly hair or, dreads or whatever, and you want a looser hat, then you have positive ease and you would add on. So you get to choose how you want the hat to fit, and that's how you choose your size. And then the measurement that we did going this way will come into play later when you're deciding how tall to make the hat. You can make those adjustments. So once you choose your size, then you get to choose your yarn. And there's lots of different yarns that you can choose to make a hat. I prefer wool because it has memory. I know that if it gets stretched out, I can wash it and reblock it and it will go back to its original shape. Not everybody can wear wool. You can knit with cotton or other plant fibers, but they will get stretched out and tend to be a little heavier. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your design, and maybe go with lighter weight yarns if you're going to use plant fibers. And then the next thing you need to do is knit a gauge swatch. And your pattern will tell you what your gauge is supposed to be. They will suggest a yarn weight, needles, and you need to make sure you do a swatch. Otherwise, all the other things we just talked about won't help you at all. If you don't knit a swatch, if you don't get the proper gauge, then your hat probably will not fit. If you have any questions at all about anything I talked about today, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Also, check out my Ravelry store. I've got a bunch of fun hat patterns, and you can practice figuring out the size and knit up some hats for fall.